chat, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a stream about a magical world, one of fantasy, mystery, dungeons and puzzles. A game system after my own heart. This is the Twilight Sword stream. How we doing, chat? Do we feel it in our bones? Do we love every minute of the music, filling our souls, readying us for adventure? Because I am. And together today, we explore the new system, Twilight Sword. Ladies and gentlemen, let's do it. So that was way more orchestral than I needed to make it, but I feel like it fits, so we're doing it. How's everyone doing? What up, chat? What up, chat? Today we're going over Twilight Sword. It is a new TTRPG system that is in beta, actively being sent out in pre-release format for PDFs for those who pre-ordered. Thank you to my friend Brian for pre-ordering this for me for my birthday. It's heavily based off The Legend of Zelda, as we'll see going through it. Big shout out to the people who created it. We'll just leave this up on screen to give them the credit they deserve. What I've read so far is really enticing and really fun. So I hope we get to see that throughout the rest of this video, this episode, this stream, whatever this is. Yeah, and that being said, we're gonna go through it, kind of have fun and hang out and talk about Zelda. Oh no, some of my favorite things. Oh god, no. Oh fuck. His favorite things. We're just pretending like we have a little bit of separation from the background here, chat. There we go. Cool. So those are the creators. I don't know that we're gonna like read the whole core rulebook, because I think you guys should pre-order this. I'm just gonna go over like some of the big hits and like what you guys think about all these things, because I think it's pretty fucking sick. I think it's worth doing. And yeah, hopefully you enjoy kind of what we go over. The basics of this game, I actually didn't read this when I was reading through the system, because I knew there would be like Zelda type species in the game, so I was like very curious like what their abilities and what a bunch of that other stuff would be. So like, this will be good. Oh, I will enjoy. You should enjoy. You should enjoy. Do it, please. So this uses the CAD system, which is created at Twilight. I don't know if that's like a system that exists currently and they just took it, or if they built it. I mean, the damn thing is called Twilight Sword, so I imagine the created at Twilight style is theirs. But it's resolved by rolling a single d12 and aiming to score equal to or lower than your ability score. This game also uses d4, d6, d8, d10, and d20s. When the game asks you to roll a d2 or a d3, simply roll a d4 or d6, divide by 2, and round up. Very simple, basic stuff for most TTRPGs. To increase the size of die, simply shift to the next largest one. Okay, so it's giving you die concepts, so that's not that big a deal. A d12 over your ability score is quite interesting. So when we get to ability scores and things like that, that will actually be kind of fun to read through. So kind of excited for that as well. What dice is my favorite? This one. I would never eat this dice. Look at it though. It is Zelda dice. This is why I keep Zelda dice at home. Because then you get to do Zelda stream. Look at big Zelda dice. Oh, so good. Do it, coward. Fair. Okay, cool. So, yes. Fun stuff. During combat, a round represents roughly 10 seconds. Standard rounds are typically 10 minutes, and then extended rounds are 1 hour. Those are kind of up to GM discretion. A lot of number one. Listen to your number two fame. Number one now. Is that what this thing makes you? Is that what this is? Goddamn. You have 75 whole XP. Look at you go. I don't know why you get XP for being a chatter, but here we are. This is troublesome. You may have to fight people. Okay. So. Simple stuff. You are champions, a small group of extraordinary individuals who are summoned or chosen to defeat the Scourge. Very similar to Demise or Gloom in Zelda, and bring hope back to the land. Champions are stronger, faster, and more determined than other people, and they use all of their skill to fight monsters and help those in need. Some champions appear as the heroes they are. Some look like common townsfolk, and others are more mysterious or even shady. But despite their differences, all champions share a strong sense of justice. Their heart is in the right place. You could say they have courage. Sick art, sick art. Definitely not fucking inspired by this guy at all. Definitely not. Couldn't be him if he tried. Look at that guy go. Couldn't be him if he tried. Now this guy could be a champion. This guy could be a champion. There we go. There he is. There he is. Who dat? Don't even disrespect. Okay, cool. So, making a champion. What hero the hero we need. You need a name, an origin, a kin feat, ability, scores, hearts, stamina, your way, a feat, starting gear and armor. Randomly determine who gets the boon and set a hope to 1. It's a very simple character sheet. We'll get into those a little bit later. You can invent your own name and origin. You can choose an origin that will determine blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. So origins are kind of like where you came from, your background, similar to like D&D of like, I don't even remember the ones from D&D. I remember the ones from Daggerheart pretty easily, like Seaborn, Ridgeborn, things like that. Kind of where you grew up, what your lifestyle was about. You're gonna get them in trouble. Think of the sponsor up. Who dat? Who dat? Awakened. You've awakened from a long slumber, and you have little or no memory of your past. The world has changed much since you fell asleep. This is the beginning of Breath of the Wild, if nobody could pick that up. Speaking of which, do we have a Breath of the Wild song I could be playing right now? Oh no, but we can play. No, this is the Ballad of the Windfish. This is pretty. Stranger. You come from a distant land, or from an entirely different world. You don't know the ways of the people around here. Chosen. You were born into humble beginnings, but an important person, a village, or a spirit itself chose you to become a champion. Your powers are new. Psych, bro. I didn't have an origin until high school. Jesus. That makes you sound just a itty bitty bit like a fucking school shooter, but it's okay. Heir. You're the heir of an ancient champion or a hero of legend. You had no choice in your own destiny, and you've always felt different. An unknown. Jeebus. You're a diamond in the rough, and apparently an ordinary... You're a diamond in the rough, an apparently ordinary individual who hides a high potential and even higher calling. Many underestimate your true value. So there's the origins. Oh, the kin are sick. I already have some extra kin, so we'll go over those in the expansions and stuff like that. But the main ones are Huma, so you know, your average human, or Hylian. The Kedi, half the height of a human. Kedis are agile, nimble cat folk, hailing from the desert. The Pengu, the tallest snow-capped peaks, are home to the Pengu, a penguin people gifted with extraordinary physical resistance. These are literally the opposite of Gorons. We find it funny. Strix, these are there are stricken of all shapes and sizes, but all of them have round dark heads, shiny eyes, and a natural talent for magic. Tuluna, the horned Tuluna, hail from the coast and boast striking muscles and innate physical prowess. All right, chat, hold on. We have to pause. Everybody get your Song of Storms. See. Who would have guessed? What will they think of next? How dare you? Just let me have this, okay? Instructions unclear. The windmill is on fire. Please put out the fire. Oh, chat. I think we might skip a couple of songs here. Actually, no, we have to listen to this one first. Sorry, you're gonna have me Zelda nerd out a bunch this stream, so Tin said burn. That's a good reference. That's a good reference. Good job. This is why you're the #1 fan. Okay. So Huma, hey, look at that. They're Hylians / elf / humans. The Kedi are little cat people. Look at them. Look at them. The Pengu are just big old fuck off penguins. We love them. What a nerd, am I right? And then the Tuluna, or excuse me, the Strix, very Final Fantasy coded. This is the first one that I looked at and I was like, oh, still definitely absolutely stealing from something, but at least it's Final Fantasy. They can beat the Zelda allegations here. And then the Tuluna are just ripped, horned individuals. I didn't see the Pengus go back. We're going for the Pengus. Look at them. They're like a perfect mix of the Zora and the Goron, so that's pretty neat. And then let me just pull up the additional digital exclusives. #2 fans say, what? Look at them. All right, cool. Hold on, let me switch this to this. They also have mallards, which are just duck people. They're pretty sick as well, because why wouldn't you want to be a duck? They also have like pretty cool fucking cards and shit for some duck enemies. But yeah, across the Grand Sea, bro, these guys are gonna get sued off the fucking planet. Off the planet. This is crazy. Anyway. I read more of this and I'm like, wow, this is just like I've never seen something that's gonna get sooner fucking. Mallard is the name of the what is the name of, it's not origin, what's the word? Kin. Mallard is the name of the kin. Wallard is the name of one of the characters, because you know, originality, as they say. Oh, here's a Minish village. Abilities. So these are going to be your ability scores. Strength, agility, vitality, perception, will, knowledge, charisma, and stealth. Pretty self-explanatory across the board here. Again, you're going to get 8 abilities. You're going to get to assign them a certain amount of points. It's a points distribution system. You can either distribute 56 points to a maximum of 9, a minimum of 5, or they can give you just a starting stat distribution that you see here in all of those stats. And then again, you have a D12 to roll above or meet that set goal. So I'm very curious, actually. So if you're using this CAT system and you want to roll at or above your ability score to succeed on something, you don't want a 9 in a score. You want like a 5, because then you have a better odds chance. Interesting. The higher the ability score, the easier it is for you to succeed. To make a what? Wait, what? Up to 10. An ability score of 7 is the average and gives you a 58% success. Score 5 gives you the chance of success down to 42%. And a score of 9 raises it to 75%. Hold on. How that work with what you said earlier, though? How that work with what you said earlier, though? Aiming to score equal to or lower than your ability score. I didn't read, chat. I didn't read. This guy doesn't read. What makes you think I could read? So yeah, you just get stat distribution. You get 56 points to distribute as you please. You can increase your ability score by selecting training feats during advancement. Hearts, which I of course love as a Zelda fan, is 10 plus your vitality score, and then you get more for being a Pengu, or acquiring a Heartstone. Container. Taha. All right, chat. One of the best songs on the planet. I want you to all imagine that you're on a boat. I want you to imagine you're the captain of that boat. And I want you to get on that boat and sail with pride. A pirate of the seas. Ooh, this is very, like, bouncy. Help, I can't swim. Now that's a #1 chatter right there. The comedy that makes the streamer laugh. That's good. Come on, are you gonna give me like a higher energy version of this, or are you just gonna make me sad? Oh, here we come. There we go. We're bouncing now. Well, let's go. I could see a certain Rabbitson enjoying this song, perhaps. Excellent. Okay, So stamina. Stamina is an important resource that represents your resolve and your ability to push yourself beyond your limits. You can gain a stamina. You can spend your stamina to gain an advantage on an ability roll, activate a feat, or cast an extended spell. Maximum stamina. Your stamina starts at 3. You keep track of your stamina. Your maximum stamina starts at 3. You can keep track of your maximum and current stamina inside the diamond-shaped boxes on your champion sheet. Is my damn headset dying? My damn headset is dying. Hot diggity damn it. That's okay. I don't need it, so we'll just charge it. We'll just charge it. We're gonna switch the music to out of here though, because I don't listen to it. Because it's Linebeck's theme, goddammit. Bum, 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 bum. So gain advantage on your ability roll, activate a feat, or cast an expended spell. Maximum stamina, we talked about that. You get additional stamina up to 8 by selecting the Talunakin or picking certain feats or acquiring a stamina stone. I'm never giving those out as a DM. Gross. Armor. Armor allows you to reduce the amount of damage taken from attacks. Your armor depends on the armor you are wearing, and you can mark it inside the shield-shaped box on your sheet. Learn more about armor later. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza stone. Violent. Can't be having that. Ways. So ways are your classes, actually. I looked at these and I was like, oh, cool. Another additional thing before we even get to classes. That's armoire. The 6 ways. Blade, magic, light, wild, shadow, and song. The blade. Fight monsters with strong melee attacks and lead your friends with courage. Magic. Cast powerful spells and use your sharp wit to overcome any challenge. Light. Channel the power of light to cast blessings and cure your allies. My natural state. The paladin. Wild. Strike monsters with ranged attacks and find the safest path through the wilderness. Definitely more of a ranger class. Shadow. Lurk in the shadow and strike your opponents before they even see you. Song. Fight with grace and support your allies with enchanting songs. Very much bard class, so you got your like DPS, your magic, your healer kinda, light magic, range, sneaky utility, and utility / healer. Whee! Advancement. Advancement's pretty cool. We'll get into that if we ever build a character. Mixing the ways. So you can just mix the ways just inherently here. So the way of the magic blade, the way of the light song. All of these things can be done. You get a bunch of different abilities that you can pick from when you start. You get 2 old weapons and a padded armor. As you start, and then you can pick some cool stuff. I think obviously the spin attack is quite relevant here from our friend Link. Blade training is super cool as well. Just allows you to boost some scores as you advance. Favored weapon, you can pick a specific category of weapon and be better at it, deal +2 more damage with that weapon. Double attack is obviously being able to multi-attack. We love that. Counter attack is more of a way of the blade, it looks like, so that'll be really, really fun in that regard. Attack of opportunity is pretty similar, I imagine, in D&D. Way of the magic, arcane focus, arcane knowledge, battle mage, arcane blaster. Learn 2 arcane spells. You can reroll all 1s on damage rolls while casting spells. Pretty sick. In addition, you can use an arcane weapon. Your arcane missiles deal 1d6 instead of 1d4. I'm out here blasting. Quick spell, magic training, empowered spell, battle mage, all this stuff seems good. And then of course the way of light, Our Lady Zelda. Definitely not Zelda, definitely not stealing from anything, absolutely definitely not. The Way of Light. It allows the champions to heal their allies and bring aid to people in need, those who follow the way, concentrate their lives to peace and altruism. and are sometimes revered as priests of the spirit. Healer, Inner Light, Light Guardian, a lot less abilities than, or maybe I just can't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I can't just count. Cool. We love ourselves a good Way of the Wild. Get yourself some aim. Get advantage on your next attack. Animal Friend. This is also kind of going to be a druid class, it looks like, as well. Double Shot, Monster Hunter, Pathfinder, Rugged, Sharpshooter, and Wild Training. The Way of the Shadow. Some champions prefer to move silently, following the Way of the Shadow and relying on the element of surprise to best their enemies. So Acrobat gains advantage on rolls to climb, keep reduce, and reduce fall damage. Ambush, gain +1 stamina, and you have advantage on it. Okay. Ambush. When you make a sneak attack, you gain +1 on your stealth roll and deal 1d6 damage. Nice. So kind of a rogue-ish class. Backstab, sneak attack, cunning strike. You deal 1 damage with small weapons. In addition, your critical hits with small weapons deal triple damage instead of double. That's pretty sick. That's okay. Counting is hard for some people. Number 2, Chatter Energy. Dual wielding. When you make an attack with a weapon, you can immediately make a second attack against the same target using a small weapon you wield in the other hand. This attack can never be a sneak attack. You can spend 1 stamina to dodge without using your reaction, or to repeat a failed roll to avoid a trap. Triple! Sorry about my subordinate. Jesus. You can spend Thief. You have advantage on rolls to pick pockets and avoid traps. Shadow Training, Stealth, Agility, Perception. That's just wow. That's a fucking Parthon right there. Way of Song. Smash indeed. Singers, musicians, and poets, champions who follow the way of the song, know how to rally the spirits of their allies and how to dazzle monsters with their arts. Battle Song. You make a charisma roll to rally your friends. On a success, all near allies deal +1 damage to the end of the fight or until you sing another song. Sheesh. Sing around the campfire, sing a campfire song. During a short rest, you can make a charisma roll to entertain. On a success, they choose to recover either 5 hearts or a single stamina. To use this feat, you must equip a musical instrument and must not suffer silence. There's no more words for this. Banana. That's okay, you don't have to. Jeez. If you're not wearing armor other than clothing, you can take 2 reactions each round instead of 1. That's pretty dope. You have advantage on agility rolls. Dun 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 dun. Swordplay, deal +1 damage with finesse weapons. You can make an attack with a one-handed melee weapon. A roll of 2 is also considered a critical hit. Damn. Silver Tongue, you have advantage on charisma rolls to persuade, lie, or haggle, and you can always sell items for at least 50% of their value. Song Training, so that's like super good utility with like selling NPCs, stuff like that. You have -1 to initiative rolls at the beginning of a round. You can spend 1 stamina to become the first in initiative. Jesus. I'll show you a one-handed melee weapon. Now this, ladies and gentlemen, is a boon. Let me find a serious song for this. A boon is the rarest of resources and can often make the difference between a crushing defeat and a glorious victory. It represents both a champion's unshakable determination and the favor of the spirits who watch over them. You can only have one boon, and you can use it to score a critical success, even if you've already failed the roll, to save a champion who is about to go KO, including yourself. That champion doesn't suffer a KO and recovers 1d12 hearts, or recover all of your stamina. When you use your boon, you become the protagonist of an epic scene that highlights your valor and resolve. Perhaps you feel new energy flowing through your body as you get back on your feet to fight against all odds. Or perhaps you're moved of the suffering of your friends and finally unleash your righteous rage. Perhaps the ancient spirits hear your desperate prayer and grant you their mysterious help. Take your time to describe what happens when you use your boon and thoroughly enjoy the moment. And only once. Each champion can only use one boon per session, even if they gain another during the same session. And essentially you get to gamble on who gets the first boon of the entire game. So that's, fun session 0 shit. Just like my friend Boon Ford. Just like good old Boon Ford. Boon Ford is here. Hello. He's in a grave, much like every other one of my characters. It's okay though. But gaining a boon is super sick. It's a great way to get like that. What's the word for it in D&D? Is it inspiration? It's inspiration. It's not as like easy to obtain as hope in like Daggerheart, but it is nice for inspiration type vibes. Hope is kindled. Is this explaining hope? Okay. Hope is a value and represents your positive impact on the lands and your increasing experience. All champions share the same hope and can track it on their sheets. When you raise or lose hope, oh god, this is not Zelda. Hold, please. We're just gonna use this guy for a second. Oh wait, we'll do Dungeons and Dodongos. Dungeons and Dodongos, folks. Hope is a value and represents your positive impact on the lands, and I've already said this. At the beginning of the game, hope is set to 1. This single point represents the awakening or arrival of the champions, which finally allows the lands to stand a chance against the Scourge. To learn more about hope, see page 138. Last hope. Once per session, a single champion can sacrifice 1d4 hope to immediately gain and use a boon. This can take your hope to a negative number. Look at all that hope. That's hope right there. Look at the hope on that face. They've just got straight cheeks in this. That's crazy. Anyway. This is how to play. That'll change table to table. I'm not going to give you advice on that. To overcome any challenge, you'll face with a d12. When you roll a d12, 1 is the best result. You can get a 12, which is the worst. 1 is a critical success, and 12 is always a critical failure, regardless of your ability score. A failure must never stop the flow of the story or the rhythm of the game. Failed rolls should come with consequences, but they should also be the opportunity to move forward, perhaps in an unexpected way. Calling for rolls, that's up to people's discretion. Modifiers. So +1 for you, add 1 to your ability score for the roll. Subtract 1 from your ability score to the roll. Is a -1, a +1. Advantage, roll 2d12 and keep the lower result. Disadvantage is roll 2d12 and keep the higher result. Critical success, we roll a 1, roll a 12. We know what critical successes and failures are. If you've played any level of TTRPG before. Opposed rolls. Direct contests such as arm wrestling matches, dancing, or drinking competitions. And of course, pod racing can be resolved with an opposed roll. To do this, both you and your opponent make a roll and compare the results. If you succeed and your opponent fails, you win. If you both succeed, the one with the lower result wins. If you're facing a monster and you fail, the monster wins regardless of the result. If you're facing a monster and you fail, if you're facing a champion and you both fail, you can either repeat the roll or call it a tie. Opposed rolls between champions should be more than rare. It is a champion's duty to always find a way to settle disputes with their allies without rolling dice. Good RP. RP never hurt nobody. Ranges. This is nice. Close is 10 feet. Near is 30 feet. Far is 100 feet. And too far is more than 100 feet away. Jesus, why are we going so epic? Let's go Time for Peace, Tavern Campfire. Oh, good song. Weapon ranges. Most melee weapons can attack close targets. Thrown weapons can attack close and near. Ranged weapons can target up to far, but suffer disadvantage when attacking close targets. Climbing and swimming! You can climb or swim. You need to make an agility roll, and you need to dash to go near. Fall damage. Wait, so what is walking? So you need to make an agility roll and need to dash to go near. Okay, so you can go anywhere within close, but anywhere between close and near you have to roll. That's a little short. Fall damage. Falling from a height near causes 1d12, and falling from far causes 1d20. If you land on a soft surface or in water, you can make an agility roll to halve this damage. If you fall from too far, you immediately lose all of your hearts and suffer the KO status effect. Jesus. Champions surrounded by complete darkness suffer the blind status until they find a light source. Champions who carry a torch while in complete darkness automatically fail all stealth rolls to hide. Night vision, Keddies, Strixen, and some monsters can see in the dark and do not suffer penalties from the darkness. This game uses theater of the mind. It is not necessarily a keep track of everything on a battle map. There are people who will use battle maps, and I think with these beautiful measures that are all multiples of 5, you can do the standard 5 feet a square for most situations. Just note that your battle maps may be smaller because of how close or far people can actually go with these movement speeds. Combat. Rolling initiative. When the fight starts, each champion and a monster rolls a d12 to randomly determine their position in the initiative. First turn goes to the lowest result, and then initiative proceeds from lowest to highest. If multiple champions roll the same result, the champion decides who goes first. If multiple monsters roll the same result, the GM decides who goes first. If a champion and a monster roll the same results, the champion always goes first. Which is different, because monsters typically go first in a lot of other TTRPGs. Victory and defeat. Once all monsters are defeated and the champions win the fight, they can celebrate their triumph. If all the champions are KO, status effect at the same time, they lose the fight. The monsters will strip them of their weapons and armor and take them to their lair to either hold them captive or cook them. Champions who are near or farther from all monsters can escape a fight by succeeding on an agility roll. This roll has advantage if the champions is far or farther from all monsters. When all champions have left the fight, monsters only run after them if they have a good reason and usually lose interest pretty quickly. If they choose not to pursue the champions, monsters recover all their hearts and stamina, and monsters themselves seldom run from a fight. Surprise and sneak attacks are things that you can do if you are of those types of shadow. Falling prone, you get knocked prone, you get disadvantage on rolls. Makes sense. Cover, taking cover, breaking stuff. Let's do breaking stuff. I care more about breaking stuff. Large, inanimate objects. Hold on. Large inanimate objects, such as doors, walls, or carriages, have a certain number of hearts to represent their sturdiness. 1 to 5. Houses, house doors, tables, and wooden crates. 5 to 15 hearts for chests, reinforced doors, and small barriers. 15 to 25 hearts for fortified doors, brick walls, and metal chests. Usually you don't need to roll to hit an object. When an object is left with 0 hearts or less, it is completely destroyed. Weapons with heavy feet always deal double damage to inanimate objects. This is pretty sick. Solid stuff. Objects that meet one or more of these requirements also gain up to 3 armor. If it's made of stone or metal, if it's at least twice as large as the champion, if it has been fortified by someone. During your turn, you can take a movement and an action. Once per round, you can also take a reaction. This describes actions, reactions, and movements. Free actions, equipping weapons. This is a good thing to leave as a free action, equipping weapons and items. Nobody enjoys having the mechanic of, oh, you forgot to take out this item. Get wrecked, nerd. It takes split seconds to pull something out, you know? So, yeah, don't be that guy. A champion's demise. Let's find a song for a champion's demise. There we go. Normally, champions never die during the game. When defeated, a champion simply gets knocked out and must rely on their allies to get them out of danger. After a good rest at a comfortable inn, a champion is back on their feet and can continue their journey. At the beginning of a campaign, and only if all players agree, you can decide that champions who are defeated in combat actually die. Maybe their allies will have a chance to bring them back, or maybe that will really be the end for them. This optional rule drastically changes the experience, so you should consider carefully whether to apply it, making sure that everybody is on board with that decision. And to that say, kill them all. Taking damage! You take damage equal any amount of damage you lose an equal number of hearts. So it's equal to hearts. If you're wearing any kind of armor, you can subtract the armor value of the damage taken from those attacks. So if you wear 3 armor, you can subtract the heart damage taken by 3. If the damage you would take is 0 heart or less, you will suffer a wound status effect and must immediately make a will. If the damage you take to 0 hearts or less, you suffer a wound status effect and must immediately take a will roll. If you succeed this roll, you will hang on and continue in the fight. If you fail, you are defeated and suffer the KO status effect. So this is more like a premature death roll. Or it's not a death roll, what a death save. Jesus. Once the amount of negative hearts is greater than your will score, you automatically are defeated and suffer the KO status effect, unless someone uses a boon to save you. Okay, this is aggressive. This is officially aggressive. We need something softer. More albums. Give me more of the albums. We'll do this one. No, we've already listened to something similar. We'll do this one. Monsters have a bunch of different stuff. This is definitely GM material, so if you're looking to GM this game, I suggest supporting the creators and purchasing these beautiful things that you get to look at. Cards, pre-release stuff, I highly recommend. Status effects: poison. You make a vitality roll or take 1d4 damage. Stun. At the beginning of a roll, you make a vitality roll. If you fail, you're paralyzed and skip your turn. Confusion. You have disadvantage on knowledge and stealth. I imagine that's what that is. Wound. You take disadvantage on strength and agility rolls. Fear. You have disadvantage on will and charisma. Freeze. You can't take any reactions and you need dash to move. Blind, you have disadvantage on perception and to all rolls to attack or dodge. Silence, you can't speak and you can't cast spells. Burn, at the beginning of your turn, you take 1 damage. KO, you can't act or walk by yourself and you can't use feats or spells and you automatically fail every roll. Good status effects, I like them. I like the burn status effect. Very Pokemon-esque with this burn status. But I like it. Take the damage. Doesn't hurt you really, just take the damage. After a failure, the GM can sometimes allow a champion to still succeed in exchange for suffering a status effect. For example, a champion who fails a roll to smash through a wooden door can still succeed if they're willing to take the wound status effect as a result of the impact. Removing status effects. You can remove a status effect by eating certain foods or drinking certain potions, or thanks to the blessings or feats. When you rest, you can also remove a single status effect. Temporary effects. Most of the status effects you suffer during combat only last for a certain number of rounds, as specified by the monster's action or feat. When you suffer a status effect outside of combat, the GM can also decide that it only lasts for some time, depending on the gravity of the situation. Multiple status effects. The limit of number of status effects you can suffer, and there is no limit to status effects you can suffer. If you suffer the same status effect twice, you take 1 damage instead. Rest, because you deserve it. The best way to cure your wounds after a hard fight is to remove your armor, lay down your weapons, and enjoy a good night's sleep. Once per day, you can rest to recover all of your hearts and stamina, recharge all of your spells, and remove 1 status effect. If you are KO, you must choose to remove this status effect. To properly rest, you need to eat and sleep in a safe and comfortable place, like the home of a friend. If you don't have any friends nearby, you can always pay for a room at an inn, where you receive the same warm hospitality for the right amount of Z or money. Alternatively, you can make camp following the page rules on 130. Short rest. Once per rest. Once between rests, as long as you are not exposed to direct danger, you can take a short rest to recover 1d12 of hearts and 2 stamina. Alternatively, you can choose to do 2d12 hearts or 4 stamina, or remove 1 status effect. If you are KO, you must choose to remove this status effect. When you take a short rest, you can also recharge 1 expended spell. I'm curious how spells work, because I keep hearing extended spells, or expended spells. Oh wow, lots of things. Hi, Dons! Zin is the amount of money you get. I'm glad they didn't make it like rupees, like gems or something like that. That's good. Weapon feats. Some melee weapons of choice here. The old greatsword, the long sword, the old long sword, or the rapier, the old rapier, short sword, old short sword, dagger, old dagger. Bunch of different status weapons here. Nothing like claws. Old shield, shield, tower shield. Bunch of bows. Explosion arrows. Let's go. Accessories. No armor for simple robes. Padded armor. Stealth gear, fur armor. You've got breastplate and rubber armor. Plate armor and fireproof armor. And then accessories like a grappling hook, a paraglider, or a surfboard. Durability mechanic is a completely optional role. I will not be using it, thank you very much. Food and potions, it's cooking meals to recover hearts. Potions will give you some stamina or reduce KO effect. Not KO. God. This is about foraging and things like that. Ugh. A bunch of different things. I like all the tables that they have in here. This is nice. You make a charisma roll to see how you handle the ingredients. Fun fact, chefs, all Riz. Only Riz. Hey chef, I got Riz. Oh. Alright, meal is served, healthy effects, invigorating effects. So these are all the effects that your potions and foods can handle. Elements and spells. Oh. Oh, there's trees to it. Fire beats ice. Ice beats wind. Wind beats earth. Earth beats thunder. Thunder beats water. Water beats fire. Darkness beats light. Light beats darkness. Interesting. Spells and weapons that deal elemental damage can be more or less effective against different creatures. Creatures who are weak against an element always take double damage from it. Creatures who are resistant to an element always take half damage. Creatures who are immune to an element take no damage. Oh, good, they give you a chart. Oh, good, they give you a chart. Twilight, the master element. The 8-element coverage is the 8 elements converge in an eternal force where they find peace and balance, a superior element that is more powerful than all of the others combined, and take the name Twilight. Twilight is considered the master element and therefore is as strong against all elements. Every creature is considered weak against Twilight. No power in this book is capable of dealing Twilight damage, but for their legends, the GM can create custom Twilight weapons and spells to help the champions in their fight against the Scourge. Spells. Arcane spells. Those who follow the way of magic study arcane spells and learn how to deal massive damage, manipulate the elements, and create illusions. Blessings. Those who follow the way of light practice their blessings to cure and support their allies, and can shine a light against the forces of darkness. Common spells are considered both arcane and blessings. Champions who follow the way of magic or the way of light can both learn and cast them. Neat. Ugh. These are a bunch of spells. We'll go over those unless I see... Ooh, Chain Lightning. You shoot lightning at a near target that takes 1d10 thunder damage. Then the lightning continues towards another target that is near to the first one, dealing 1d8. Then it hits another target near to the previous one, dealing 1d6. Finally, it hits another target near to the previous one, dealing 1d4. Chain Lightning ignores armor. Chain Lightning can never hit the same target twice, and immediately stops if you roll a 1 on any damage rolls or if you choose so. Yes, it does indeed help if all of the targets are in a line. Counterspell. You only have to consume a stamina for it. I can't wait to see this everywhere. Disguise. Fireball! Okay, here we go. You throw a blazing ball of fire. Deal 1d8 fire damage, ignoring armor, to your target and all creatures close to it, including you and your allies. Fireball deals triple damage to inanimate objects. If you fail a roll, the fireball only deals 1d4 damage. On critical failure, the fireball deals 1d4 damage and you become its target. Jesus. Nerfed. Nerfed. Oh my god, an ice dagger does almost as much as a fireball. That's crazy. But you can't hit yourself. Oh my god, wait. Shatter. Plow through a target with the full force of your magic. If the target is a creature, they are knocked prone and permanently lose 1 armor. If the object isn't an inanimate object, or if the target isn't an inanimate object, it takes 3d12 instead. Okay. Like, that's crazy. Hey, don't knock my ice knife, man. You can have it. I'm all about it. Thunderbolt! If you strike a target with powerful thunderbolt that falls from the sky or ceiling, deal 1d20 thunder damage, ignoring shield. That is more fireball-esque. Barrier, blinding light, favor, haven, heal, healing prayer, invigorate, life, light spear. Throw a glowing spear made of pure light that deals 1d6 or d12 light damage, ignoring armor. All champions have +1 to attack rolls against the target of this spell for a round. So this is Guiding Bolt, essentially. Common spells: Build, Command, Magic Armor, Magic Hand. This is a sick way to see fucking Magic Armor, Magic Hand, Magic Weapon. Levitation, Sleep, Whisper. Legendary items. Fragile artifacts, magic items, magic scrolls, heart and stamina stones. Definitely don't look like their counterparts in any other game. Elemental weapons are sick. Hell yeah. And then of course, oh, you're not gonna show me the stats for the big old fuck off weapon? Come on, it's what the damn story's named after. This goes over traps and other things. Dwellers of the landmark. Roll twice to see who dwells near the landmark. Bronze chest. Got a bunch of different enemy cards here. Kokorokos. Kokoros. Traveling through the lands, you can sometimes meet tiny little creatures who wander cluelessly, hide in unexpected places, or stand on the side of the road, completely lost. The townsfolk call them Kokoros, and they say that they are the ancient forest spirits that were driven from their homes by the rise of the Scourge. Kokoros are mostly green with little stripes on their heads and backs, and they all wear a sort of mask that gives them a mysterious look, and speak in simple sentences, with annoyingly high-pitched voices, like they were little children. For some reason, they seem to naturally be drawn to champions, and often like to play with them or send them on weird quests. This tells you how to make Kokoros. That's crazy. Yahaha! Konofo. Wopolo. Rofono. Rofgo. Crazy. Oh my god, look at him. He's a goddamn legend. So yeah, you can just build whatever you kind of want here. Looks like there's a bunch of different statuses that you can get from weather. Champions can't light a fire or a torch in a storm, have disadvantage on all rolls to climb and swim. These penalties apply to every storm level. Each round, the GM makes 1 thunder roll, makes 2 thunder rolls, makes 3 thunder rolls. Thunder rolls, roll a d20. On a 1, a random champion wearing medium or heavy armor or carrying an equipped weapon made of metal gets hit by lightning, takes 1d20 thunder damage, and suffers 1d6 stun for 1d6 rounds. If no champion is carrying metal, lightning strikes near. As a result of 2 or higher, decrease the size of the die and repeat the thunder roll until lightning strikes. They're like, hey, blow this fucker up, please. If it's too hot, champions get easily exhausted. Champions feel exhausted and cannot use stamina until they find shelter under Hot 1. Hot 2, champions feel exhausted and can't use stamina until they find shelter. At the beginning of their turn, if they do not already, they also suffer burn. And then Freeze is the other ability, which would really suck to have. You can endure these by having different suits or being a specific race is the wrong word. Kin is the right word. Making camp. Don't be attacked at camp. It's safety, it's food. Campaign. The lands. Radia is pretty sick. I'm excited to explore it. It's literally Hyrule, so, you know, do with that what you want. Maybe create your own Yahaha Hyrule. The baby is here. The big bad evil guy. The Scourge. The Scourge. Oh no, she's hot. I'll work for her. I'll do it. Why would I want to do the right thing? Yeah, they literally make the Scourge like demise. Oh my god, steal, why don't you? Hope and despair. As long as there's still a glimmer of hope left, the good people of the lands will still believe in champions and have them fight for a better future, free of monsters and despair. As the Scourge tightened its hold on the land, a sense of despair is filling the hearts of the townsfolk, making them afraid of monsters and desperate for help. Unlike hope, despair is not a single value. Each region of the land has its own level of despair that determines how bad the situation in the region is. Regions with higher despair are usually darker and more dangerous, plagued by hundreds of terrible monsters. Their inhabitants live in fear and long for the arrival of a group of champions who will set them free from the Scourge. Keep track of despair is only useful when playing a campaign or a legend. If you want to play a shorter campaign, you can set it as a single region with a single level of despair. These are despair things. The story goes on. Having a party. It's giving you ways to make parties and things like that. This seems to be a very simple TTRPG. From what I'm noticing, it seems like you're just kind of getting a D12 system and a new way to look at simple features and things like that. But I'm not going to get into the world of Radia. I think if that were to happen, maybe I do that in a campaign that may be hosted on this channel or another. But thank you guys for hanging out with me today while we take a look at Radia and all it has to offer. Or, well, look at Twilight Sword. We didn't go look at Radia. There are a bunch of cool cards and things like that that came with it as well. I want to save that for a day that you guys can see it when it's actually played. And I'd love for that to be a stream that we have someday where I can stream us, whether on Discord or something else, playing a game for you guys. And I think that would be kind of fun to start doing at some point on this channel. So if you guys enjoy the TTRPG stuff that we're doing here, let me know. If you enjoy it, say so. Like and subscribe. But yeah, I think that's it for what I wanted to do today on stream. The rest of it is just like, how do you play this game? And I feel like that would be better shown than read. I just like reading different lines in a book that make me feel like I'm a voice actor. If you liked my voice acting, that could be fun. If not, why are you here? I enjoy it. I'm glad you enjoy it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Wow. Wow. So kind, so loving. Oh, the camera looks so better today. It did like a little fucking freak out on me last stream, and I don't know why. This looks way better. Much better, much better, much better. Cool. I'm so happy. All right, chat. Well, that was it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed my little itty bitty stream today. We may do a bigger stream later in the week. Don't have a lot going on that I think of. Won't be doing one tomorrow. Friday of date night, so maybe Thursday, if not for sure Saturday. So yeah. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And it'll be a good time. I leave you to Pharaoh's wind.